This is exactly how we turned $2,568 into over $100,000 in new revenue for one client. So before we started working with this client, he had spent about $530 on ad spend and generated 58 leads for himself. Problem was he had 0 conversions. So before working with us, he was managing and creating the ads by himself for just a couple of weeks before turning the campaign off the moment it didn't show results. There wasn't a real system in place, so budget was going out the door every month with no clear read on whether the right audience was even seeing it. His growth had plateaued, and that's when he reached out to us. The 4-step system we ran. Step 1 was the audit. Our goal was to find exactly what's leaking his budget and what's working, what's not working, and what we can improve upon. Step 2 was our strategy. We rebuilt the plan around real profit metrics and systems that would work long term and generate him the greatest return on his investments. Step 3 was the creative process. We produced and tested new ad angles. In step 4, we optimized these different angles. We used the data to determine what worked, and then we scaled from there. Step 1, the audit. During the audit, we determined his creatives were not getting enough ad spend. He had very low budget on every single ad, so that was one thing that we noted to change. We also found that the only metric being tracked was his cost per lead. This led to bad quality leads as he had no lead filtering. We also found that most of the campaigns were turned off before they even got enough spend to get out of the learning phase. This gave no data to optimize his ads with. I think our key finding though was that during the audit, we found that there was a tracking error due to the Meta pixel not being installed correctly. This caused Meta to guess who was and wasn't converting, and also just led to bad quality optimization because there's no data to optimize with. Step 2, the strategy shift. First, we established what a qualified customer looked like for this business. Then we put focus on high quality, pre-qualified leads instead of just targeting any and everyone. How we did this was we implemented forms that filtered out customers who didn't match our ICP, and then we increased our ad spend. On the right, you'll see an example of a question we might ask during a lead form to pre-qualify these leads. This business owner specifically did not want to do any jobs under $1,000, so if someone filled out the form and they put that, we just filtered them out and didn't even contact them and noted Meta not to optimize for those same leads. Why this worked. Increasing our ad spend allowed campaigns to exit the learning phase, and we had a high ticket service with an average job value of around $1,500 or more. I think our biggest change though was running the retargeting campaigns to re-engage customers who showed interest but didn't take action. Step 3, the creative overhaul. First, we designed creatives using new ad angles. For example, we used pricing, before and after, and us versus them formats. Also, we used different formats. Instead of using just static image ads like he had done previously, we used videos, voiceovers, and a couple different formats. Next, we included a clear call to action that was targeted at his ideal customer in every single ad. This way, we were calling out exactly the service we provided and what they should do next. Here's some of the results of the changes we made. The first ad we ran generated 43 leads at a $7.68 cost per lead. This same ad returned $8,361 in revenue. That was a 25x return. Step 4, scaling what worked. We monitored performance daily to determine our winning ads. And then after determining our winning ads, we allocated more budget to them and continued to scale the ad spend that they got. After finding the winning ads, we tested more creatives every 1 to 2 weeks, and then we continued to create variations of those winning ads that we found. The turning point though, our monthly performance reports turned out to be very beneficial. The reports actually allow us to see all the data across every single ad that had been run that month and their exact performance. This has allowed us to really determine what ads were working, what wasn't working, and what to do next. On the right, you'll see an example of a performance report we did for this specific client. So the old approach versus the new approach. Before Cruz Marketing, It was self-managed campaigns turned off prematurely the moment they didn't show instant results. There was no real systems in place, and budget was wasted monthly with no clear plan. Creatives were underfunded, and the budget was spread too thin. Basic metrics only were being tracked. Only tracked cost per lead with no quality filter. This led to unqualified leads. Also, a meta tracking error. This left Meta guessing who to optimize for with no data. And then after working with us, he got pre-qualified leads. We defined target customers and built forms to pre-qualify prospects. That way our client wasn't dealing with tire kickers all day long. Next, we optimized our spending. We increased our ad spend daily to exit learning phases, and then we collected usable data. We also used smart retargeting. We re-engaged warm, interested prospects who hadn't converted yet, which led to higher conversion rates. Also, we did creative overhauls. We deployed fresh angles, varying forms, and we used clear calls to action. Also, we used active daily optimization. We monitored performance daily, shifting budget to winning creatives. And finally, we did full performance reporting. We did monthly transparent reports on results and our ROI. That way we could determine what works and what doesn't and where to go next. So here are the full results for this client. We generated him 221 leads at an average cost per lead of $11.56. Keep in mind his average job is $1,500 or more. So these are insane results. We also generated over $100,000 in new revenue, and he got a 39x and higher return on his ad spend. That means for every $1 he was putting into Meta, he was getting $39 out. And this lasted over a 5-month period, and this client is currently still with us. But don't take it from me. Here are words exactly from the business owner. Here you can see a 15 to 20K return. One lead turned into $15,000 to $20,000 in revenue, and we had more high quality leads continuing to flow in. Next, you can see in 1 week, we had $35,000 to $45,000 pending in the pipeline. And finally, you can see where he secured a very big job and 10 solid conversions in the very first month of launching a new campaign. If you're interested in implementing these exact systems into your own business and getting results just like this business owner, book a call down below and we'll talk through what we could do and how we can help your business.